Yes, indeed. Time to check old Pat's Claus's bag because we've got questions galore for you on a very special pre-holiday edition of Six Rings and Football Things, the mailbag. The mailbag's here. Let's all go to the mailbag. Let's all go to the mailbag. It's Fitzy, it's Hart, it's you, and all of your questions. We put the question out. Hey, you got anything you want to ask us? Please feel free to make the comments as clean or filthy as you need to. Whatever's on your mind, all takes, all questions, all inquiries, all comments are welcome. We spread it across the Twitter sphere or the X platform and Facebook. We received in just an hour's time over 100 questions. God bless you people. Even though the season is far beyond life support, like it's terminal, we probably should call it, but yet we're going to still leave it connected for another 6 weeks. You people are showing plenty of life, plenty of fight. If only the team itself had the same kind of piss and vinegar you people display, oh, we'd be in for a special offseason.
Whoa. Now you're calling them you people?
No, that's just you, like all of you, not you people. That's you people.
Oh, okay.
You know what? I should have qualified because you like to try to claim the domain of you people. You fabulous Foxborough folks, the fine fans of Pat's Nation. 100 questions. We have called the best 15 together here for the mailbag edition of the podcast. We do appreciate all the questions. We'll try to get to them as quickly as we can. Andy, I'm going to begin though real quick before we get into it. Speaking of things on social media, once again, we'd love to shout out our fabulous friends at the FanDuel Sportsbook for sponsoring Six Rings and Football Things. FanDuel, make every moment more. FanDuel.com/6rings to register today. What are you waiting for? Get in on this wild, wacky, and woolly NFL season. Take advantage of their fabulous same-game parlay offers, their no-sweat first bets, and more. Don't forget, considering what a cooling streak I'm on, you can hashtag FadeFitzy. Chances are you'll make enough to pay for the holidays. I want to go to something you put out on the X recently. You put out a little bit of a poll, a little tweet poll. It was asked on Tuesday Eve. I imagine you probably used this for some content on the Rich Keefe program. Hashtag Patriots fans, do you want Bill Belichick back in 2024? With 1,700 votes at time of podcast Wednesday morning, November 29th, 18.4% said yes, same role. 28.7% have voted yes, but just as coach. And a whopping 52.9% said no, it's time to go. So the people have spoken. That is clearly a majority. That wins an election. That takes the cake right there. We're not talking a 2/3, 1/3 kind of senatorial House of Representatives vote. No, this is a yes or no, 50-50, even though you qualified the yeses. More people than not want Bill Belichick to go gently into that good night.
So I think we can scientifically say a majority of Patriot fans want Belichick gone at the end of the season. Correct?
And I think if we reached out to more people, if I amped it, if the station amplified it, you'd probably get a similar number. I do believe that at this point now, a majority of Patriots fans want him gone. And listen, there are people that have said they full well expect him to continue coaching. Mike Lombardi said as much on Tuesday's Pat McAfee show. We've heard the rumors and the rumblings that Gary Myers saying Los Angeles could be in play so much as he's heard. We'll see if we can get some people on a Chargers podcast this week to tell us what they've heard or what they think. Interesting week once again for these two teams to clash. But yeah, the big takeaway here is I think the majority of Patriots fans would like to see Bill Belichick say, thanks very much. It's been wonderful. High five and a hug. It'd be a weird hug. And then move on. And does that make you a bad fan? That's the big question for me. Does that make you a bad fan for just saying, Bill, I think it's time to go?
No. You're a fan of the Patriots, right? If you're a fan of Bill Belichick, yes, that makes you a bad fan of Bill Belichick if you want him gone. But if you're a fan of the Patriots, the team, the logo, the laundry, you started whenever you started Fenway Park, or you maybe a new age fan like a Fitzy and it's 2001 week 2 Tom Brady, like those people. I don't know who you are.
New age fan. No.
Well, I could have been meaner and called you a pink hatter.
I've been going to games since 1978. Thank you very much. I am not one of your new age fans. I'm not one of your. I got the ticket stub. I saw the Houston Oilers kick the crap out of the New England Patriots. So yes, as a wee lad.
But no, if you're a fan of the team, you've watched the last 4 years, you've seen the regression, you've seen the
I've been good.
wheels fall off this year. It's not even regression. I mean, it's
Oh no,
real
this season is like, I actually don't think, Andy, believe it or not, I don't think, and I said to you yesterday on the podcast in our reaction to the loss in the Meadowlands, I said it's going to be a years long study as to exactly what the holy hell happened with Mac Jones and what he did to what Belichick did to him, or the team did to him, or how he mentally regressed, whatever the case. But I actually don't think, believe it or not, we're making enough about what a disastrous dysfunction this season. Like, this season is legendarily bad. The 0-16 Lions were just a bad team, but they tried their ass off every week. And you didn't want, like, you rooted for them. You're like, oh, guys, you're trying. Like, yeah, God love you. There've been a lot of teams like that. This team is, it's a shock they have 2 wins, even though they could have 6 easily. That's the crazy thing.
They could. And that was the whole, who was mentioning it yesterday, that Bill always says to the team that this is, Bill O'Brien, that this is an 8-9, 9-8 league. It is set up for everybody to essentially go 8-9, 9-8 with all the rules and draft picks and this and that and limitations. And he kind of was using that example, like, and we're not taking care of our business. We're letting other teams make the plays to win games. We're making the mistake to lose the game with it on the line. And it's been a weird year. I don't personally believe it's as dysfunctional as last year. I don't personally believe there is much internal angst and hate and offense questioning everything. I think they're not talented. I think the quarterback is toast. And because of those 2 things, it's really spiraled out of control. But you just said it. They could have 6 wins, even though Vegas Bet MGM has now lowered their win total to 3.5 on the season. Vegas is like me. They're like, yeah, I'm not sure they're going to win any more games, really.
It's been lowered to 3.5.
Yep, it's down to 3.5, and you're at 2. So 6 games to go. They don't think you're going to win 2 of them. They probably, like us, are like, that Jets game is tenuous. Let's keep it at 3.5. Let's not move it to 2.5. But
exactly.
Yeah, you're a bad team that wasn't expected to be this bad. But as you like to say, here we are.
And I was thinking this morning, is this maybe the most unpleasant Patriots season in memory, or at least in like the latter half of my life? And yes, they've had losing seasons. Like, they went 5-11 in 2000. I remember the Rod Rust and the Dick McPherson years. Here's why this season may be the most especially unpleasant one to me, because of, like, my expectations as a fan, pre-college, in college, after college, as a wee lad and beyond, were never that high. Now, I know we are still now not just a couple years removed from the Brady double dynastic run, but we are now several years removed from Tom Brady being a member of the Patriots. Yet I still had different expectations with Bill O'Brien, Bill Belichick, hopefully a cured Mac Jones. They told us they loved the players they brought in. People were saying this could be a playoff team. They're going to be a hard out every week. And yet here they are, like the most dysfunctional team in the NFL. So that's why I find this to be probably the most disappointing season in recent memory.
Oh, definitely in recent memory, because there were some hopes. Even people that were negative like me were not as negative as a year ago. I was more negative going into last year because I didn't understand how you could make a defensive coordinator your play caller, and I thought the coaching situation was screwed. This year, I doubted their talent, but I had faith in Bill O'Brien. I thought Mac would bounce back, like all of that. And even like the comparison to 2000, that was a transitional year. You knew it. You were cleaning out the roster. You were cleaning up the books. Like, there was a lot going on there. And you had hope that you were going in the right direction with Bill Belichick taking over. This is a season of no hope. Like, there's no hope. There wasn't hope. I think if you thought there was hope, you were kind of misguided. I said to Rich Keefe last night, because we were talking about the like misguided faith put into a guy like Mike Gesicki. Oh, he's a unicorn. He's going to change the offense. I literally never bought into it and started to question my own eyes and analysis in training camp when I was reading people saying, like, he's going to change the offense and you can do so. And I'm like, did I have a stroke? Are we watching the same guy? Like, what is going on in my head that doesn't see what you guys are seeing? And now I feel really good because my head was the only head and my eyes were the only eyes that were actually working. I didn't see the talent because the talent's not there. The ability, the the upside wasn't there. But there was a lot of hope coming into this season. Even Robert Kraft and Bill Belichick, I think, believed this was going to go a lot differently than it's gone. And now you're talking about the number one pick.
And you have to wonder internally, given what the way things have gone this season, being so close in the first couple of games, then winning the game against the Jets and not being able to get on track, then follow that up with two of the most embarrassing losses in Bill Belichick's coaching tenure, Patriots franchise history, and then just the ups and then you win in but then you beat Buffalo, and then you get hopes back on track, and then you're just not good enough, and there just doesn't seem to be enough answers, enough reasons why. But that's why we do a mailbag podcast. But I think to close this little first intro here of the pod this week, or rather on the special mailbag edition, the majority of Patriots fans would like to see Bill Belichick move on. I think if I had to if we had to bet on this on FanDuel right now, Andy, would you bet that Belichick moves on, be it through agreement with Robert Kraft or of his own volition at the end of the season?
Oh, yeah. But I wouldn't make
same.
the bet because I think it's like minus 400 or something.
Get out of here.
I think he's gone. Like, if you give me, set me some odds.
I'll give you minus 210.
Okay, I'll make that bet. I think this is
So would I.
Yeah, I think this is like a sure bet kind of thing. I'm not sure I would go all in on put my mortgage and everything on it, but I'd be very comfortable making that bet.
Already in the second mortgage anyway. It's okay.
I will be stunned if Bill Belichick is back running the Patriots. The first thing, same role, that 19%, I think it was last check, or 18%. 1 in 5 Patriots fans think they're just running it back with Bill Belichick, the same old.
What are they smoking this early in the morning?
I don't know. That would absolutely stone cold stun me. But either way, I'm going to be very surprised if he's back. I just can't see it. I can't see Robert Kraft after last January when he wrote the letter and then put out the press release and all of that. And we're going to invest in the team and the. So he says all that last January, and that precedes the worst season his team has ever had on his watch, the least entertaining season, a season in which we're going to see empty seats. We're going to see Justin Herbert fans and Patrick Mahomes fans more than we're going to see Patriots fans at Gillette Stadium. How can he not do something? He has to be a man of actions. And I know people are like, when's he going to talk? I don't give a rat's ass when he talks. I really could care less when Robert Kraft.
What's he going to say? What's he going to? I mean, he spoke before the Germany game and said this was awful, and it was. I mean, to what degree? I know he got his facts wrong and whatever. That was more just him doing PR for the franchise and for the NFL. I don't
need him to speak. I need him to act. I need him to walk the walk of being, I call him the patriarch of Patriot Nation. He was a fan before he was the boss. He needs to do. I don't care what he says. He can explain it later after he hires a new coach and a new GM. Then he can do a nice sit down, or then he can do like pre-draft special, all access. Steve Burton sits down with owner Robert Kraft, who explains the changes. That's all great. Yep. I need the changes first. Action. Yep. I want a man of action, not words. His words have come each March over the last few years and have done nothing, have brought nothing. Change is needed.
Sometimes they've been in parking lots with trucks backing up behind them. Sometimes they've been in fancy hotel lobbies. They've been birds. I forgot. Whatever it is, actions speak louder than words. We don't need new bars. We don't need new TVs. We don't need new lighthouses. We need a new player personnel guy. We need a new coach, and we need a new quarterback. Thus ends.
Other than that, how's the football team, Mrs. Lincoln?
All right. I like what you did with that one there. Make sure you tell your friends, of course. Obviously, you guys are still engaged, vibrant, and in it to win it as well. So we thank you guys for putting on your participants and jumping into today's podcast. And now let's get to the mailbag. We didn't have production, so I just tried to do something. Okay, here we go. We have put together our favorite questions from Facebook, from the X platform and beyond. And here we go, Andy. Let's see. All right, here we go. I'm gonna start with this one. Tim Long on Facebook asks, was Matt Patricia really the problem last year?
Yeah. I mean, not the problem.
Hindsight is now a skewed hindsight is now actually kind of making things not look as bad as they were, or rather, we knew they were bad last season, but this season is now making last season almost look damn near heroic.
You need to change the to. Was he a problem? Yes, he was a problem. He was not the problem.
Solid qualifier there, Hart. Solid qualifier. Yes, exactly.
Because if you say he was the problem, you got rid of him. Okay, problem solved. No. He was a problem. Mac is a problem. Bill is a problem. Talent is a problem. But I do believe there was more dysfunction. I do not believe that players think about Bill O'Brien and this offense the way they thought about Matt Patricia and that offense and what they did last year. So you're less dysfunctional, but no more functional, if that makes any sense, as a football
It does.
team.
It 100% it does. I think that was actually a very appropriate, mature, and succinct answer. If you need to take the rest
Where'd
of the
I get it
podcast
from?
off, I know. Wait, whoa! Don't peek this early. We got 14 more questions, guys.
Did I steal it from Mike Reese?
Here we go. Okay, here we go. Don't.
What?
All right.
What?
It's okay. Don't Don't
Love
admit to
Mike Reese.
plagiarizing.
I don't plagiarize. I'm not AI. I don't steal. It's all
Yeah.
comes
What
from
do
here.
what do you work for? SI? How long till
Right.
WEEI turns into WEAI?
Ain't no AI that's going to come up with we are not tanking, we just suck, or losing is undefeated, or the truth is never mean. Those are Andy Hart originals.
Put them on T-shirts and sell them at the pro shop along with the Joe Judge. No one's coming. It's up to us. Well, we've failed. Thomas Wolf on Facebook asks, losses seem to help the team long term, so why the hell should we want to win?
You shouldn't. I mean, let me back up. I'm not going to tell you how to feel as a fan. You can feel the way you want. But I think a lot of people have accepted that the best thing, Matthew Slater even acknowledged that he can understand that fans accept the best thing for them is to see this team lose. Because as a fan, you're hoping you get that marquee superstar player. I saw our guy Mike Kadlick tweeted out today a Dane Brugler mock draft where the Patriots take Drake May at number 3. That will injecting excitement in Patriot Nation. And that will inject fun and entertainment value for some period of time. Now, he may stink. You may get like halfway through his rookie season and be like, uh-oh, we drafted the wrong guy. But for some, when was the last time the Patriots felt truly entertaining? The end of that Bills game, we got a little blip, the drive from Mac that we hadn't seen. Okay, there was one there. But for the most part, and you know my rule, entertain me first. There's nothing entertaining about. There's no entertainment value with this team on the field or during the week. The most entertaining thing right now, from my perspective, is rooting for losses so that you have a 1, 2, or 3 pick so that you can dream of turning things around, right? Like that's like buying your Powerball pick and thinking about what you're going to buy with the money, except it's not 1 in 200 billion odds. It's like, I don't know, maybe like a 40% chance, something like that, right? Like pretty good odds that pick could lead to success and entertainment down the road.
Entertain me first. That is priority numero uno. They'll try hard. They'll do everything they can. It's also going to be a Red Pat the Patriot throwback day this coming Sunday as well. So you'll have some bolts and Patriot. Like it'll look like the 1980s. Let's get Kellen Winslow and Dan. I'll take, honestly, I'd be more entertained this Sunday if it was Grogan throwing to Stanley Morgan and Dan Fouts throwing to Kellen Winslow or Charlie Joyner than I would be by
game?
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
Current age.
Oh yeah. No. Flag. You can put flags on them. Doesn't have to be contact. Like that commercial with Emmett and Dan Marino for Pepsi Frito-Lay, the Brady Edelman commercial.
It's pretty funny when Dan Marino puts on the glass. That was actually when he puts on the readers. That's funny.
And does like the Santa Claus look down his nose.
Who knew he could still has his Ace Ventura chops. From the Twitter platform at Forza_core. What are the odds that Barmore and Peppers, arguably their 2 best players this season, get extended this offseason with all the available cap space?
The offseason at some point, I think they're decent. But I think you have to wait because what we're talking about, there's going to be an overhaul in the organization. So
who's making that decision now?
Right. Unless Jonathan Kraft is the one legitimately making that decision and going sort of the Stephen
Jones.
I was going to call him Ross. Who's Stephen Ross?
Well, this actually Stephen Ross.
That's the old Dolphins owner?
Yeah, actually, no, still current Dolphins owner, the big Michigan supporter, the guy that tried to poach Brady and bring him there.
Yeah, sorry. But yeah, if you go Stephen Jones, maybe Jonathan could do it. But otherwise, I think you have to hire a head of football before they decide, we want Christian Barmore because the Christian Barmore deals, the Peppers one, that's a weird one because I'm not sure where his value is at this point in his career and the way he's playing and where
he's got a great value to this team right now and hopefully in the short-term future. There would be no bigger sign that Bill Belichick is out than if Jonathan Kraft either negotiated these deals a la when Theo Epstein was wearing gorilla suits and was kind of in, kind of out with the Sox. And I believe, who was it that orchestrated the Mike Lowell, Josh Beckett deal? It wasn't Larry Lucchino pulled off that trade. That was not a Theo trade. And of course, that ends up helping the Red Sox win a World Series as well. But if he brought in someone else to negotiate this deal right now over Matt Groh's head or over Bill Belichick's head, that would be the ultimate, like, spoiler alert, change is coming to Foxborough. Speaking of Stephen Jones, that plays nicely into this question from one of our regulars in the Putnam Club for the Chalk Talk, a loyal, diehard Foxborough family. Vinny Saville III. Bill O'Brien said on Tuesday that the QB decision is made by a, quote, chain of command, with Mr. Kraft seemingly having the final say. My question to you, gentlemen, is when did Bob Kraft turn into Jerry Jones?
I don't think he's Jerry Jones, but extreme times call for extreme measures. And I said this to Rich Keefe last night. People like to throw around the term meddlesome owner. To me, nothing Robert Kraft is doing in the last year or so is meddlesome, because meddlesome implies to me a negative tone, like you're getting in the way of success. No.
That's David Tepper in Carolina.
Right, because it's a poop show around him. This is, my once great coach GM team is falling on its face. I need to step in.
Yeah, and it's I like the fact that he reminded everyone before the season, Bill runs my football team.
Correct.
This is his $7 billion investment. It's not Bill Belichick. I know everyone thinks Belichick can set up the legacy for the next coach. Belichick will have the ultimate. Like, we have to remember it. The buck begins and ends with the laser lower right corner. What they used to always say, LRC, RKK, LRC. That's where it begins and ends. So
and he had an asset in Mac Jones. That was a first-round pick, middle of the first-round pick, high first-round pick, Mac Jones, that he's admitted he's a fan of, and that I think he at one time hoped would be the franchise quarterback. Actually, he said that. He thought they had the quarterback, and since then he hasn't. But I think I said to Rich Keefe on the WEEI Nighttime Show, just because Robert is active now doesn't mean he picked Mac Jones. Mm-hmm. You could be active now just like, oh, my God, I got to try to salvage that asset, salvage my team, salvage my season. So it was an interesting comment. It was certainly interesting that Bill O'Brien brought up the chain of command in New England and said Robert Kraft down to Bill Belichick, and then kind of giggled like, then the rest of us assistant coaches fall in line somewhere down here.
And also I'm probably going to hear from Bill and Burge after I say this.
Well, but I wouldn't care anymore. Who cares? The wheels are off.
No one should care. No one should care. Yeah.
I also thought it was interesting because it has been portrayed of late that maybe Bill O'Brien is making the quarterback decisions and that maybe he is divvying up reps and maybe he doesn't like Bailey Zappi and maybe he's sticking with Mac Jones longer. I thought it was interesting. He's like, no. We have a chain of command. It's Robert, it's Bill, and then I'm down here with the rest of the schmucks making decisions. So
yeah, I'm dancing in the bottom, the basement of the Titanic, drinking Guinness and having a good time.
Middle management. Like he's middle management is what he's saying he is. Like there's upper management and then there's us, the rest of us down here. And we're all kind of getting along. But
he's one of the Bobs. He's literally a Bob.
He is no.
There you go.
Bill.
Let's keep her moving here. Okay, on that, from Twitter at Mac Jones Cookies. Who would you guys want to see take over GM responsibilities next year? Andy, what's the name of that guy from San Francisco? The
Adam Peters.
Yeah. Okay.
I like him. I like him as a guy that blends the Patriot way from his experience here earlier in his career to the San Francisco way and the success they've had out there, obviously putting together a remarkable roster in recent years, and John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan. Also, by the way, I think he's viewed that place the probably way you want to set up an organization now, where you have a GM and a coach that are working hand in hand in an alignment, not one guy with necessarily elite power over the other kind of thing. So Adam Peters is a guy. I've always liked Kevin Colbert. I think he did a great job with the Steelers over the years. If could
you coax him out of retirement? Yeah, I know. Mr. Kraft's got a couple of those as well. I happen to right here now, Andy, have from a website that has kind of worked its way into my football.
Is it AI written?
Education rotation, 33rd team, Mike Tannenbaum's site. He has a list of the 7 likely GM the top GM candidates for 2024. Number one on his list, Adam Peters, assistant GM of the 49ers.
Glad he listens and reads Six Rings.
I'm telling you, all the good takes come from Six Rings. Also, then he's got Ian Cunningham, assistant general manager of the Bears. He was learned at the Ozzie Newsome School of Scouting,
which is the
working for
Bill
Ravens.
Belichick
There you
School
go.
of Scouting.
Then we have Ed Dodds, assistant GM of the Colts. Mike Borgonzi, assistant general manager of the Chiefs. I'd be into Peters and Borgonzi in a heartbeat.
So Borgonzi is an Everett native whose brother Dave coached with the Patriots. I knew his brother a little bit when he was in the organization. So there is some local and organizational ties in the Borgonzi family.
JoJo Wooden, director of player personnel with the Chargers. Be interesting if he leaves there, if Belichick goes there. Like, that could be an interesting little swamp.
Chargers have good talent.
Yeah, they do. Just don't have a good coach.
Nope.
Andy Weidel, assistant general manager, Pittsburgh Steelers. He also learned at the Ozzie Newsome School of player picking and general managerialmanship.
Okay, you could sell me on him because I'm guessing he has some ties to Colbert. So if you tell me he learned from Ozzie and Colbert, I like that blend.
And they haven't missed on a wide receiver in 3 decades. And finally,
the one thing I'll say about Pittsburgh is they're not a great cap team. They had a guy, Omar something, that was running the cap for a while. I don't love the way they've run the cap, but talent-wise, I'm okay with it.
And your last one, Brant Tillis, vice president of football operations with the Chiefs. I'll read this one. Tillis is an interesting name, primarily a salary cap guy, but so was Eagles GM Howie Roseman, who has won 2 of the NFL's last 6 Executive of the Year awards. Roseman's success is changing how supposed non-football personnel people are viewed. So there you go, folks. I just learned a lot. I think Andy learned a bit. You all learned a lot. There are the names. Oh, all right. Just, a little humility goes a long way. Okay. I think this is maybe the question. It is probably the question in Pat's Nation right now. From the X platform, at Chris with a TIAN, Chris with a Chan. Bigger need, head coach or quarterback?
Quarterback.
Same.
Because I'm saying that from my perspective, not necessarily just the team building perspective. What do we just use the E word? Like, you can be entertaining, if not necessarily championship caliber. The Chargers are the example. If you get the quarterback, you're going to be in games. You might be disappointed. Like, why aren't we better? Well, the coach stinks, and you need to find a new coach. But a good coach with a bad quarterback, isn't that called the Patriots right now? We're in this problem. Whereas a good quarterback with a bad coach is called the Chargers. I'd rather be the Chargers right now than the Patriots.
Good spin. Yeah. Also, I just want a new quarterback.
Organic.
Yeah. Quarterbacks can somehow go out there and win games in spite of the coaching.
And
a lot of times
we
don't see bad quarterbacks win in spite of good coaching.
We see quarterbacks play on Sunday, as Tom Brady said. The coach is not very impactful on Sunday. The quarterback is very impactful on Sunday. Well, guess what? I watch on Sunday. I don't watch on Tuesday in the meeting. So you may tell me you have a great coach who runs a great meeting with a great game plan, but I need a quarterback to entertain me when I spend $175 on my tickets. So I want the quarterback.
Wow. Where are you spending $175? It's not that much.
Well, I was just throwing a number out there. I'm hoping to be competitive again when the tickets will cost a decent amount of money.
I know we'll get to that tomorrow on the Chargers Patriots preview. Over under on number of actual people in attendance on a chilly Sunday, December 3rd, and how many of them will be actual, quote, Chargers fans as well. Oh, woe be Pat's Nation. Back to Facebook. David Weaver. How many times will Mac be benched for Zappy before he loses the outright starting job?
Okay, that's a great question for this week, and I'm sure we'll delve into it more in the game preview pod.
4 times already. I can't remember any other quarterback being benched 4 times in a season and not losing his job, or just being benched 4 times, period. This is insane. This quarterback carousel is insane.
Well, it is and it isn't. So Bill, once again, wouldn't say anything today when he spoke with the media about he's not talking about naming starters, blah, blah, blah.
Shocking.
I know we're not supposed to probably acknowledge that other radio hosts and stations exist, like you're supposed to pretend, but Tony Maserati had a great tweet this week where he said Mac Jones has been benched 4 times, and I'm going to trust Tony's numbers here. He's a tough guy. He's a jumbo, so I'm assuming he did this right. Tony Maz said that Mac Jones has been benched 4 times in 11 games, which is like 37% of the games he's been benched in. So you're more likely when you watch the Patriots play to see Mac Jones benched than for them to convert a third down because they're below that number on third down conversions. And like that is eye-opening that they are more likely to bench him than convert any third down that he's most likely leading. But the answer to this question,
oh my gosh,
4. I think Bailey Zappe's going to start on Sunday. I was wrong. I don't know how you can keep putting Mac out there. I just don't.
think Bailey Zappi is going to start this coming Sunday against the Chargers?
Yep. I do.
All right.
You want to bet? You want a FanDuel bet it? A beer? You owe me lots of beers.
The next beer you give me will be the first beer you give me.
I don't lose bets, so I don't need to give you beers.
You just then people give it to me, and then you just take it and say I owe it to you. Like this is just an absolute what a one-sided deal. I say Mac Jones starts on Sunday.
Okay, I'll bet you a 6-pack of Modelo.
I don't want Modelo. It's a good beer, but
Modelo
6-pack of Narragansett.
Okay,
the real people's beer, the people's champion of refreshing locally made beer. Yeah.
Okay.
It's still only like $7.99 tops.
Okay. So a 6-pack of
Tall
Boy Narragansett.
There it is. There it is right there. There it is right there. I look forward to putting those away after we get off the air Christmas Eve, which will technically be Christmas morning on the Six Rings postgame show following Pats at Broncos. Oh, like you couldn't either. Here's a fun one I called from the Twitter platform. It actually wasn't a question asked to us, but I wanted to go with it. Mike Giardi. Greer/Cunningham platoon. Who says no?
Would you?
I would too. I would absolutely. I would watch that with morbid curiosity. I would rubberneck across the highway. I would look at it like the first time pornography was put on, and I wasn't supposed to look at it like, oh, sorry, yep. Like, and then I'd get weirded out.
National Geographic nudes.
Precisely. I'm sure Giardi's thrilled that we're mentioning National Geographic nudes and his name in the same sentence. It's a tough season, Mike.
But I would watch. Now, I will fully admit, after that game, I would probably on the Six Rings post-game show being like something to the effect of, oh, that's why nobody wanted those guys to play. That's why.
Fine. At least let me know. I want to see it happen.
Yeah, prove to the world that those guys suck. Prove it to the world. And you know who's with us, I think, is Devin McCourty, who was calling for Will Grier to start last week, and this week kind of morphed it into, I just want somebody different. If I'm on defense on that team, I've seen these guys play. They're not it. I played against them. I want somebody different. And you couldn't get more different than Will Grier, Malik Cunningham combo. Now, the one problem is, according to Bill O'Brien, Malik Cunningham not really doing much at quarterback.
But now I read yesterday, somebody said it's now about 50-50. Like his reps are
Troy
now.
Brown, and I think he's wrong. I believe Bill O'Brien more than Troy Brown. No offense, Troy. And by the way, Troy, I love you. I mean it. Your receivers stink.
Well, actually, that's a very good segue. I feel the exact same way. Love Troy Brown's contributions on the field. I have enjoyed all my interactions with Troy Brown off the field as well. Guy. What a guy. The
former Narragansett beer owner. I don't know if he still is or not, but
was he really? Was he an investor?
In sort of the rekindling of that brand and that company.
And now they've got that banging tap room, and like they're a vibrant part of the Providence community as well. Love to see it. I can't wait to win my 6-pack when Max starts on Sunday and everyone goes, oh God. But I would much rather see Greer Cunningham. Speaking of the wide receivers, Andy, at WPG Sports with a Z fan 21, given their contracts for next year, what does the wide receiver core look like in 2024? I think you'll definitely see, so long as his health holds up, Demario Douglas. I don't know about Kendrick Bourne. I want them to re-sign him badly, but I don't know if he's going to want to stay. That probably depends on who the coach and the quarterback are. He's got a long way to go on the road to rehab. Is Juju here? Does the next coach hold on to Juju or say, you know what, we'll buy it out. We're good. Thanks, buddy.
Well, Juju and Parker, the next regime, do they want
zero chance Parker's here next year? None.
I wouldn't have either guy here. I would treat it like 2000 and start, get the old hatchet out and start carving things off the roster that I had no part in the idiotic contracts given to them and just move on from them. But I'll tell you, I think the wide receiver position looks young and questionable. I think you probably have to draft one with one of your first 2 picks. So either in the top 3 or in the top 35, you have to draft a receiver.
Then you grab one in the mid rounds like you did your special teamers this past year.
But
and
young
you sign a
receivers
veteran.
are dubious. Like there's going to be some learning curve and some growing pains, I would guess, because I know we're in this modern era where, everybody comes in and makes plays at receiver. No, not everybody does. There's some guys that take a year or two. There's some guys that never get it, i.e. Tyquan Thornton, who, side note on Tyquan Thornton, I said this to Rich Keefe last night. We like to say they broke Mac Jones and he is broken. I think they broke Tyquan Thornton. He is not running routes like the guy I saw as a rookie in training camp. So
no.
I don't know
Brutal.
what happened to him. If it's all coaching, if it's, offensive change, if it's, I have no idea, but he has become embarrassingly bad at running routes in the National Football League. And he was not that rookie in camp. So
no,
but no, the wide receiver position is going to look a lot different. It's probably not going to be great. It's probably going to be young, and there's probably going to be a lot of work in progress nature to it.
Yes, and I do think that they will go after a upper echelon to top tier free agent wide receiver as well. I would be intrigued by somebody who's only 27 years old, like a Curtis Samuel. I know he was the guy I wish they took over Nelson Aguilar a couple of years ago. It's not a bumper crop when you look at the free agent wide receivers. Mike Evans will be a free agent. I doubt he's going to want to come to a team in transition like the Patriots. He'll probably ring chase or check chase. I know you love T. Higgins. What would you say? All right, I'm going to go right now on Spotrac. Give me, you take a guess. What is Michael Pittman's market value next year?
4 years, $88 million.
That's a really good guess. Spotrac has him at 4 years, $94 million.
I am a professional.
That's an insane amount of money.
That's where the market is going for a guy who's above average?
Actually, you know what, Andy? So far on the season, he's got 6 games to go. He's at set. Look at the effect, the Gardner Minshew effect. He should send him a nice Cadillac or a good leather jacket. 76 receptions, 784, over 10 yards per reception, only 3 touchdowns, but still, that's somebody who knows it's a contract year. Now, would he be a dog or a dog next year, whoever gets him?
No, I don't think he'll be either. I think he'll be fine. I think you know who he might be? A higher end Hunter Henry, where Hunter Henry's not worth $12.5 million a year. He also doesn't suck like Jonnu Smith or Mike Gesicki. He's in the middle somewhere. You're kind of getting production out of him. He is what he is. I think Pittman is that, but I don't think you'll look back and say, oh, we married Pittman up to our rookie quarterback and it was like Josh Allen and Steph Diggs. I don't think he not him, as the kids say.
He's not. He is most indubitably not Himothy.
I'm not sure T. Higgins is either. He has not had a good year.
No, I told you he's not. And you know what else he doesn't rate well in? Separation. He's got Devontae Parker-itis. Like he does not.
You don't have to separate to be good if you can play.
I know, but he doesn't. He doesn't do really either. He's not having a great free.
I would be concerned if I gave him $100 million. I would be concerned that he not him.
All right, here we go. Got a couple more here, folks. Home stretch. At Hans Danson. If the pick falls out of the top 2, would you trade it to Arizona as the primary asset in a deal for Kyler Murray? This assuming Murray becomes available and Arizona wants a new quarterback.
Hell to the nose. I'm giving a top 5 pick for Kyler Murray. I don't think Kyler Murray's a franchise QB. I'm not a fan of Kyler Murray. And by the way, if you're picking that low, it means Kyler Murray continued to lose with the Cardinals, because if the Cardinals win, then all of a sudden you jump up into the top 2 picks.
That's not going to be tough for them to do. Like they're going to probably get absolutely throttled this coming week against the Steelers, who look like they're getting a little bit of their mojo back ever since they made a change at offensive coordinator.
Did you see the stat that I believe is accurate? I'm just going to run with it. I read it on X, and everything on X.
Then it's definitely true.
That in the final game prior to Matt Canada becoming offensive coordinator, the Steelers had 400 yards of total offense. Last week, in their first game after Matt Canada was relieved of his duties as offensive coordinator, they had 400 yards of total offense. In between, they never had 400 yards of total offense.
What a mess. That offense should, that's one of those, like, is it the coach? Is it the coordinator? Is it the quarterback?
Well, part
Probably
of it,
a combination.
The quarterback's not that good. Najee Harris has not been what he was supposed to be.
But he had a good game last week, though. when it
But he's not
mattered.
as
Like
good as the Warren guy. He's been their lead dog, and the Warren guy is better. He's more impactful.
I'd still take that combination. I like that as a young combination. Both guys are young. Both guys, what are they both under 25? One's better at catching passes. One's a little bit more of a hammer. I would still take that combo over a lot of other RB 1s and 2s in the league.
Okay, let me interrupt real quick. Just one that came in.
Okay.
This is an old PFW in progress listener, Adam Shifter. Do lighthouses typically have bells? And would a ship even hear it? A reference to the bell on the lighthouse. No, they usually have horns, right?
That's right. Which is,
I don't really get the bell
I think
thing.
lighthouses, I think sometimes they do. Just
churches have bells.
Yeah,
Steeples
I think lighthouses,
have bells.
The easiest thing, it's almost as if, do lighthouses have bells? They came before foghorns. They were installed along with lighthouses on land and on lightships. Like foghorns, bells were used in foggy conditions to warn of navigational hazards such as rocky coastlines or shoals. So the answer is yes.
Crappy football teams.
All right, there you go. And thank you very much, Adam Shifter. Okay. Carlene Gadapy from Facebook. Carlene says,
Gadapy too.
I'll say Carlene Gadapy.
Too many copies.
Yeah. Okay. And her dad is not Momar. Mac is not a good fit for the stricter methodology employed by the bedrock of Patriots football, aka Bill Belichick. Do you think maybe he'd play well for someone like a Pete Carroll?
So we're talking about personality-wise.
Yeah, like I thought that was that's why I grabbed that one. I thought that might be because Geno Smith, he could be on the outs after having a tough sophomore season with Seattle. Obviously, it's his 11th year in the league overall. Drew Lock isn't the answer. Could they enter the QB draft portal as well?
Certainly would be a different vibe. I think he would obviously get. Now, Mac was very successful with Nick Saban, who's an a-hole, hardo structure.
And his high school coach was legendarily strict and demonstrative.
So I don't think the difficult world of the Patriot way is what's broken Mac. I think some of it's coaching and talent and all those things. But he needs a change of scenery, and maybe a change of scenery to like a more lovey-dovey place might help him.
Just maybe to heal him up. Yes. Like go against the grain of what he's been used to on the gridiron. Yeah.
Yep.
3 more, Andrew. Here we go. Mickey Horn. My question to you guys is, if in the offseason the Patriots get a new coach and a new quarterback, how long till they're competing for a Super Bowl again? Would it be A, year, B, 3 years, or C, 5 years?
Did you say a year?
He gave us a multiple choice. I appreciate a listener/participant who gives the hosts a multiple choice option.
There is no shot in hell the Patriots are a Super Bowl contender next year. No shot in hell.
Okay. All right. Well, easy.
No chance. And the person I had to yell at with this most was Adam Jones on our station, because he's been like, it's not that hard to turn it around in the NFL. They could absolutely be a playoff contender and a contender next year.
There's not enough talent on the roster. No. My answer is
roster.
3 years.
You find me a team, Fitzy, that got a new coach, a new GM, and a new quarterback all in 1 year and turned it around. I'll hang up and listen.
What was it like the first year of Kyle Shanahan coaching? Did he and John Lynch go in hand together?
I don't know. I have to do research. I like to just pop off at the mouth. But no, they're not going to be good next year. And this roster has, like, who's around those things? Even if you get those 3 things, who's the rest of the roster?
All right, here we go. I'm taking a look right now. Can Wikipedia give me an answer in enough time that people don't turn the podcast off? I'll just do Kyle Shanahan Wikipedia, and we'll see. Kyle Shanahan has been the head coach of your San Francisco 49ers. In the 2017 season, he took over with the San Francisco 49ers. And I believe that's when John Lynch took over as well, I think. I don't know. Anyway, long story short, no, it's very difficult to do so. I'll say 3 years. I'll go with B.
Yeah, I will go in the wording was Super Bowl contender, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so the 49ers were 2-14 in Chip Kelly's final year, and they were 6-10 in Kyle Shanahan's first year. They were 4-12 in Kyle Shanahan's second year. They changed quarterbacks, they changed GMs, and they were not a competitive, contending football team, just like the Patriots will not be a competitive, contending football team next year.
Would you look at that? 2017, I apologize for the interruption. 2017, Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch went hand in hand, and they acquired Jimmy Garoppolo that season.
Yeah, and they sucked. Fitzgerald, are you there? Oh, this is awkward. The guy with the questions in the mailbag podcast is no longer in the podcast.
Well, would you look at that, Andy? Sorry for the technical difficulties, folks.
Technical difficulties?
Okay, operator error. I accidentally clicked the wrong button. All
Okay.
right, so
I'm going to call you
Pod's gonna
Mac
log away.
Jones.
All right. The 49ers went 0-9. Then they won 6 of their last 7, so they went 6-10. Thereby, 6-10 would be the best case scenario, I believe, for the New England Patriots in 2024. I'll go with 3 years on the plan. Thanks for the question.
Also, by the way,
yeah,
they added a veteran quarterback, right?
Yep, he was in his 4th season, James Garoppolo.
So they did not go the Drake May, Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels way.
No.
So I would say 3 is the most optimistic return to contender status you can have. I'm not saying it's impossible because you're going to have high picks and cap dollars to spend, but you better nail the hell out of everything you do.
Yeah, and it's not exactly, once again, a bumper crop for free agent quarterbacks next year as well. Oh, boy. You don't want any of these guys.
No, I want Drake May or Caleb Williams. It's very simple.
I don't know about Drake May. I think I'd rather Jaden
no.
Daniels. Yes. That's me. That's just me. You is you, me is me. Yeah. Dave Silva, second to last question. Why is the fact the Patriots have the smallest staff in the NFL never talked about more? You need more assistants, not less.
Is this Bill Belichick? I mean, is this Fred Kirsch? Because this has been a Fred Kirsch. It was funny because Fred Kirsch used to always bring this up as a positive during the dynasty years. They'd be like, nobody does more with fewer assistant coaches than Bill Belichick. And the short answer, because they don't name as many assistants as other teams do. They don't name people that actually work for him. Lower level job guys, quality control guys don't get put on the roster and get named. They exist and they do things for Bill Belichick. They just don't get the notoriety and name recognition they get in other places. So I don't think it's about the size of the staff. It's about the quality of the staff. And we're talking about football here, nothing else. So clean it up if your mind's in the gutter. The quality of your staff is what matters. And I think you can question the quality of Bill Belichick's coaching staff.
I would agree, but I also think that a few more coaches and quality control assistants would probably
we
help.
need more cooks in the kitchen. That's what we need.
Bill overextended himself. Bill had 9 jobs last year.
You don't even know who runs the defense.
No, we don't. We also don't even know who's running the offensive line right now because poor Adrian Clem's been out with illness for a couple of weeks. I guess it's been Billy Yates. Hey, the O-line hasn't really been an issue the last couple of weeks. So
is Billy Yates good now? He sucked last year. We blamed him as part of the Patricia thing. He couldn't do the job. Now it's good. Is he good? I don't know.
What a mess. Oh, come on. We're all tied in mental knots. All right, let's end on a happy one, a fun one, a seasonal one, Andy. This one comes from @MRED, Mr. Ed 315.
A horse is a horse, of course, unless, of course, is the fabulous Mr. Ed.
I think people won't care enough to make us pay for that, so that's okay. At Mr. Ed 315, which Patriots player makes the best Santa Claus?
Okay, so I have a couple options in mind.
I have 2 go-tos. I have one on the O line, one on the D line.
Okay, you pick one, I'll pick the other.
Okay, I'm gonna go with. I'm actually gonna visually. It would seem like it would be David Andrews. You just die the big guy, good size,
a bit of a belly.
Yep, wonderful spirit, very giving. But he's a little, he's not so much animated as I would think maybe you might want your Santa Claus. So while he looks the part, I'm gonna go with Lawrence Guy. I think Larry Guy would make because he's outgoing, he's a little extra goofy, big dude. I think he would be a perfect Santa. Like if the Patriots were to send an envoy to some sort of a rally, a fundraiser, a holiday party, Boston Children's Hospital, etc., Lawrence Guy, perfect Patriot Santa Claus.
So those were 2 of my 3 that I thought of immediately. And the third would be Dietrich Wise. I think Dietrich Wise has that affable, playful, fun, can interact with kids, the whole thing. So I think Dietrich Wise, I would add to that group. So we obviously sort of gravitated toward the lines. Is there anybody that we're sort of size shaming, that maybe a smaller person that could do the job?
Well, Juju seems to be a lot of fun. Like he's a good dude. Like I know for a fact he showed up at. Yeah, if he could gimp it around, that's right. Yeah, he's rehabbing, so it might be a little difficult. Oh, Santa's got a limp. That's too bad. Santa's on crutches. Like I know for a fact Juju Smith-Schuster showed up at my friend's at the Mayflower Pantry rally that they do for my friends at Rock 102, a station out in Springfield, which was really nice. Made a donation, was there to help raise some money for those that are what are they food insecure around the holidays.
How about nobody knows their way around a sack better than Matthew Judon, and he's got
there
a great
you
personality and
go. All
energy.
right.
He could be in the mix. Juwan Bentley, I feel like, could pull it off. He's got the beard. He's a bigger dude. Kind of.
What about Julius Peppers? Because, like, what if he showed, like, I'm
Jabril?
mean on the field? Okay, yep. What about Jabril Peppers?
Because Julius Peppers would actually be good, too. He's not on the Patriots. But...
Yeah, that's a tall Santa Claus.
Yeah, big dude.
Jabril Peppers, yeah.
I think Jabril Peppers could do it. Everybody be like, I thought Santa'd be taller.
You know what? Actually, let's put a vote out to the people. Who would make the best one? David Andrews. Let's go David Andrews, Juju, Larry Guy, and Dietrich Wise. Let's put that out as a Six Rings pod poll. Let the people vote. We'll amp it up and see who they think.
I like it. And let's include them. At them. Are you doing that? Who's doing that?
I'll do that with Terp.
At them. Maybe we'll even get them to respond and make fun of
maybe they'll appreciate that. See, we ended on a positive note. There you go. All right. The mailbag pod, once again, undefeated here in the land of Six Rings and football things. We'll be coming back with our Chargers Patriots preview pod. Andy will also have the Cadlicks crucial clashes this week. What is the most crucial clash? Is it Bill Belichick with logic? Is it Bill O'Brien versus Mac Jones? Is it Pats fans versus the team? We'll find out. Make sure you tune in here on the Six Rings and Football Things feed. And maybe we'll just be able to take you behind enemy lines and see what they're saying out in the land of Los Angeles about the Bolts, the possible defection of Bill Belichick in the offseason to Los Angeles, and so much more. Great job, everyone, on Facebook, on Twitter, and beyond. We appreciate the questions. Keep joining our growing legion of Patriots engagement, analysis, interaction, and more. For at Jumbo Hart, this is at Fitzy GFY and producer Justin Turpin on Six Rings and Football Things, brought to you by FanDuel Sportsbook. FanDuel, make every moment more. FanDuel.com/6rings today. We are a presentation of WEI Odyssey and 2400 Sports. Talk to you soon. Thanks so much, everybody. Good day. God bless. And go Pats.